Pisces, welcome to your September 2017 love reading. It's Raina here. I'm shuffling. I do want to let you know that I'm working with a camera where my LED screen is not showing any of what it's supposed to be filming. So I'm kind of just going by where I've positioned the camera. And you might say, well, why do I need to know this? Well, in case something goes out of range, please understand why that is. I mean, sometimes when I put down these, like for now, this is a perfect example, I put these to the side so that they're not blocking my main thing, and they might be totally out of range. I'm getting a new camera, so this is only a temporary thing, but you know, of course, this is a few days before Mercury retrograde, but I've had equipment malfunction when it wasn't Mercury retrograde too, so. But the other thing I wanted to say is that I have a series of videos, and this is going to be on Vimeo, and I'm going to provide a link below if you're interested. And it's called Looking for Love, and it's, I guess, primarily for people who are looking for love, who are not trying to repair love or things like that. I'm sure that it could benefit anyone. It's a combination of the typical, predictions that tarot cards tend to do, but also with instructive elements where it's like, okay, you can do this to make it more likely that you will attract it. So that's kind of neat. I did begin it last month. I did like a couple of videos, but it didn't quite gel because of my own unfamiliarity with Vimeo. And as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, okay, because I haven't filmed those yet, but I won't be posting your video until I've filmed the corresponding video. But I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? It's not like I've had any instruction since then, so I'm just hoping that everything goes smoothly. And so let me just shuffle these some more. It's funny, I just like unconsciously just picked up the cards again. I don't know why. Wow, very nice. I think I already see where this one's going. Wow, so many major arcana cards. What's going on here? Wow, wonderful. Wonderful ending. Okay. So, the centerpiece, this guy, Knight of Wands. Who is this guy to you? Could be Sagittarius, and you do tend to, with immutable signs, if it's a fire sign, actually, then the only mutable fire sign is Sagittarius. But, it can, the other fire signs, I associate this with Aries, but the other one is Leo. This is a guy who, he could be under 40, but he could just be an older guy who just has that kind of frat boy mentality, or just like maybe somebody who's never really settled down. And I could totally see a Pisces person going for that type, because when I've observed Pisces, a lot of times you seem younger than how, than you really are. There's like an innocence of Pisces. So this person has an innocence too, but they're not necessarily reliable. This is actually a card associated with a womanizer. But I don't know if the term womanizer is even appropriate in 2017, because it implies that women are just completely, naive and they can't see a person for who they are. People generally know what they're getting themselves into, and they choose to ignore certain signs. So it could be just that you are having this affair with somebody and you're just enjoying it for what it is. You're not like looking for a marriage or anything like that. It's interesting because I got in the past position, the High Priestess, and this would be a card of like, you didn't know, maybe a secret came out about this person that you didn't know about. And because we've had these, I'm saying it in the past tense even though it hasn't happened, we're having these eclipses, and when I'm recording this, we haven't had the solar one yet, but we had the Aquarius one a couple days ago, the lunar eclipse. That was in your 12th house. So you may, that's where secrets come out. It's like, hello, this person's doing this. And maybe now you can see this person for who they are. Maybe you did get the wool pulled over your eyes. See, this is something that a sign like Pisces, it can happen to you because you're very idealistic, you're very trusting. Okay, yeah, I know there are some of you that are that are cynical or that are very suspicious. They say that Pisces can take on any sign, and that some are persnickety like Virgo, some are suspicious like Scorpios, but then there's the ones that are the pure Pisces mentality is to be very trusting and to take things at face value. You just may be more inclined to do that, let me put it that way. But you know what? This could also be, since the High Priestess is in the past position, this could be you, maybe you were in a former relationship with somebody, maybe it was a long-term marriage, and you found out something and you're out of there, and now you are the Knight of Wands. Maybe you are the one who's playing the field. And what you have now is the Star card. You have faith renewed, hope restored. So whether this is just because you're having this fling and it's making you feel like desirable, maybe you felt like rejected by somebody in your past and now you feel this sense of everything being okay, or if this is just getting away from a certain person has made you feel so much better. Either one works. Either one is going to be a positive influence on your life. It could be an Aquarius, a person that, oh, it's funny, maybe it's that Aquarius eclipse, but maybe it's an actual person. I'm getting, and then I get the moon, This could be timing issues. Maybe this will be the solar eclipse. Now, if you're watching this in September, most people will be watching this in August, I feel. But if you're watching this in September, you're going to have a full moon in your sign. So you may be done with something in your life. You may be done with a certain way of being where you are not going to just be gullible. Maybe you're seeing the light about something. The moon can actually be another indication of deception, of something being kept from you. But as the higher message, I'm looking at it in terms of like maybe your spirit guides or the universe, whatever, trying to tell you about timing issues. The full moon in Pisces, September 6th, maybe that's an illuminating time for you. Time to let go of what doesn't serve you. Also, you have a new moon on the, what is it, the 20th of September in Virgo. 7th house, baby, relationships. So that might be timing issues, but even that lunar eclipse, that solar eclipse, the new moon in Leo. That might be something to someone, because that might be a time for all of us to have, Leo connects with romance, just in the general sense. It's the 5th house. So even if it falls into a different part of your chart, it still can have that influence of what the sun represents, of what Leo represents. So that can be influential for you as well. And of course, the new moon is when the sun and the moon are in the same sign. So, but yeah, I mean, you do have that full moon in your sign, and that is a great time to release dead weight. What crosses you is the Emperor card. So maybe this is an Aries person. This is connected to Aries. Maybe that's that guy. This is a person who may be in the military, or could be in law enforcement. That's the other possibility, whether or not they're in Aries. But and I would say specifically the military, because I look at that Knight of Wands as a military person. And maybe that's contributing if you're with somebody who's overseas, or they're separated from you, that can put strain on the relationship. Maybe find something out about what they're up to. And this person may be very controlling in your life, and that may be one of the reasons why you feel this sense of I don't know, like you with the Star card, you're having your faith restored, so you must have had some kind of negative impact maybe by this person, and that certainly would cause negativity. Somebody trying to control you, somebody who has to have things their way. It's like my way or the highway, and that person is not good for your life, and maybe that is why you are receiving this card, to show you that this person is not good for you. And it's like what's coming in is represented by the World card. So this is that transition. This is the last card of the Major Arcana, and this is like the closing chapter, graduation day. I like that term, graduation day, because it really is, if we think of life as a school and we have these courses, maybe you could look, if you're married to somebody and you end up getting divorced, it's like that was a course that you needed to take, but it had a shelf life. It wasn't meant to be an eternal course. It wasn't meant to be a course that lasts a lifetime. So that may just indicate, the World card, that things are changing. And again, I go back to that time of the new moon in Virgo. The World card is 21. The new moon is on the 20th. The period of time, now this year I don't think it's the 21st. I think it might be the 23rd of September. But we have the equinox happening in that time frame. And that's kind of a transition as well, where we feel the change of the seasons. And a lot of times, I don't know about anybody else, but I have felt that in my life, that things start to change when September comes around. And in the Northern Hemisphere, it's like back to school time after summer of rest, summer of play when you're a kid. So you get down to business again. And a lot of change seems to happen. Sometimes people start new jobs and things like that. So you may end a relationship, a long-term relationship. And the outcome is one of the best cards you can get for love. Family joy, family harmony, marriage, love. So it sounds to me like you may be leaving some situation, and that was a negative influence. And if you have, let's say you have children, they may feel a sense of relief that they're not being put in that situation anymore. But it could just be that you free yourself up for something that is going to lead to a committed partnership and a happy committed partnership. I got the cups. So it means that there is a soul connection, that there is that emotional connection. Maybe it will be with a fellow water sign. And that would be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Who knows? It's interesting, let's see, because Jupiter goes into Scorpio in October. So that's very interesting as well. That's your 9th house. Yeah, so anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Pisces. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an awesome month. Bye.